But I cannot tell you, and especially over the last couple of days of getting to work with them, with somebody that's been a part of my family for a long time, and getting a chance to get back on the court. And it wasn't the first time. Victor's been back 5 times this summer. Okay, but to have these 2 young men, all right, not only represent me, represent this program, represent you, represent this university, all right, represent this state, but represent what young people are supposed to be about. They're supposed to be humble, they're supposed to be hungry, they're supposed to be caring, they're supposed to want the best for themselves, but want to see others be successful. They're supposed to put God and family first. That's exactly what they do, and I'm proud to bring up Victor Oladipo and Cody Zeller right now.
It's just crazy, man. It's just a different feel. You know, something you got to get used to. And I come back because this is my home. This is my family. You know, and I never forget where I came from. And I know when I come back here, I'm going to get Coach Crean, who pays attention to detail, who tells me when my feet aren't good, who tells me that I need to hold my follow through, and I have Coach Jackson, who knows my body already, because I've been with him for 3 years and he knows what I need to work on. So what better place to do that than come here in Bloomington? So I mean, it's just different, man. It's a different monster, but I'm ready to attack it head on.
Wait, before you give it to Cody, what was your welcome to the NBA moment? Whether it was a foul, whether it was a dunk, whether it was a...
Well, actually, it was opening night, and we played here, and I had a good welcome to the NBA because I got a standing ovation when I got called. And then I had a bad one because with my first possession getting the ball, Paul George just smacks my layup off the glass, and then the commentator says, "Welcome to the NBA." So it's kind of cool. So
that's good. Cody, what do you think the biggest difference is?
I think the biggest difference, everyone talks about how many games we play in the NBA. Played 86 games this year, including the playoffs. But, you know, so I was kind of ready. I was kind of prepared for that. But what people don't talk about is that it's 82 of the best players in the world. And, you know, even in college we played, you know, 30, 35 games. But, you know, there's non-conference games in there that we could win on talent. But, I mean, for us, if we're playing Milwaukee on a Tuesday night in front of 2,000 people, you know, you can get embarrassed if you don't play well. So that was a big adjustment for me.
How many thousand people?
2,000.
Come on, man.
Not kidding.
2,000?
Probably less than that.
It's unreal. It's not all places are like Assembly Hall, man.
I know that. There's no place like Assembly Hall. No. All right, you see the pictures. I think a lot of them see it if they follow you on Twitter or they follow the IU alumni pages and the websites. Tell everybody, okay, that what it's like, all right, for the Hoosier Nation support that you get in the other NBA, or in all the other NBA cities, you know, outside of Indiana, what that's like when you go on the road.
Yeah, it is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, it was a point where we were in, like, I think Oklahoma City or San Antonio, someplace random, and they were just waiting outside the hotel. They're at the gym, and my coaches are like, "I've never seen anything like this before in my life." It was a point where they used to joke on me because every time I come, any IU fans in the building? Any IU fans in the building? It's crazy. Like, you go, I have players from Kentucky, St. John's, everywhere you can imagine. There's nobody there. It's always red in the stands. No matter where we're at, it's always that red in the stands. And it just brings back memories, man. These are the 3 best years of my life playing in front of you guys. The energy, everything. I mean, I can remember moments in games and entire games. I can remember when we beat Kentucky and Coach Crean dancing in the locker room. I remember everything. Yeah, I remember everything. I was
sick to my stomach. I don't remember doing that.
I remember everything. And the fact that you guys treat us like you guys do, even though we are not even wearing a jersey anymore, it makes us work even harder than we already work, really. And I know Cody feels the same way. We appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. You guys treat us like we're your sons, we're your brothers, we're your grandsons, man, and it's crazy. It's such a family feel. It's hard not to come back. It really is. So, like I said, I'll always be a Hoosier, and I really believe that from the bottom of my heart.
That's actually exactly what I was going to talk about when I got up here, because Vic and I have talked about this a lot. Vic and I were blown away this year. I think I kind of had tunnel vision because I knew, I grew up in Indiana. Obviously you get great support at Assembly Hall, but I don't think I really understood how big the alumni base was around the country. And until, we're playing in Denver and I got 50 people waiting for me after the game, and playing in Philly, I think when Vic and I played against each other, I think there were more IU fans than Bobcats or Magic fans. So, I took the court at the Staples Center for the first time. There's 4 guys in the front row with candy stripe pants on. Obviously, Mark Cuban in Dallas is giving me a hard time, yelling at me in the front row. But it was unbelievable this year, all the support that we got across the country. And like I said, when I was here, I understood, how big Assembly Hall is, how big the support is in Bloomington, but we really appreciate all the support even around the country, and I hope that you guys get the same feel for that. So I appreciate it.
And the level of academics and life skills and helping these guys grow up to be men as much as anything else. We're coming off a 3.2 summer. We had a freshman get a 4-point. We had 2 more freshmen get a 3.8. These guys have done so many things. Obviously, you're looking at a 3-year grad in Victor. Cody was taking classes this summer online, correct, to get his Kelly School of Business degree. They're both 22. And I would close with this, because this is really ultimately what you want it to become. And I'm the first to stand up here and say that you have to be very, very mature to go to Indiana. And we have not always done that, and we go through that. And all the other eras went through it too. Life was just different then. There wasn't Twitter, there wasn't Facebook. Not everybody was a journalist, not everybody was a photojournalist. It's just a different world right now, okay? But the bottom line is, when you come in, we always use this as an example, okay? When you come into that family, it's an inner sanctum now. That inner sanctum just happens to be the 3rd largest alumni base in the country, okay? That inner sanctum happens to be a world-class university. But inside that program, and there's Ted and Gary and Slick Leonard, and there's so many people. It's Quinn Buckner's birthday. I mean, there's so many people that have made it what it is. They're the owners. And when guys come in my language, they're the renters. They're renting. And some don't know how to take care of the facility. They may be renting, okay, but still they have responsibilities inside of that place. Because ultimately, all right, when you come to Indiana, you're not renting to go rent somewhere else. You're renting to become an owner. And these guys are owners. They are owners. And they're owners to the point where neither one of them were treated like they were 18 or 19 or 20 when they were there. They're certainly not being treated like that in the NBA. Victor is now expected to be the leader of his team, okay, in Orlando. At the age of 22, it was bestowed upon him a week and a half before he turned 22. Cody now, with Josh McRoberts leaving and going into Miami, is now sitting there staring at an opportunity to be a starter. Vic's team may be in those old Pat Riley words of becoming an upstart. And in Cody's case, they're looking to be a contender. So they don't have any time to just be 22-year-old guys trying to feel their way in. They've got to be grown leaders. They've got to be grown men in a profession. And you know what? I'd like to think that Indiana University, all right, not only their families and their education and their life before, but Indiana University, what they've learned at Indiana University on the academic side and all those different sides, what they've learned inside of that program continues to help them. Because what we're trying to do, when I have an issue, and I have a leadership issue, I don't have a team of leaders right now. I can't stand up here and say, well, this guy's leading our team. Okay, we have some really good players, and we're not a team right now that's going to rely on 1 or 2 people. But I don't have a team captain. I'm not saying, hey, you handle that. I call these guys, all right? And are they're here enough that I can turn it over to them. I got the best staff I've had in Indiana. I mean, right now. I got everybody on my staff has been a Division I head coach. All right, Rob Judson, Chuck Martin, Tim Buckley, Steve McLean. That's unheard of. All right, but you know what? The leaders are guys like this, because everybody that comes in should aspire to get to a place that they are not only professionally, but where they are as people, where they are as leaders, where they are as young men, and where they are as people that absolutely appreciate the experiences that they had. So don't ever, you didn't take them lightly and take them for granted when they were there. Don't take them lightly and don't take them for granted as they're out there in that world right now. We are proud of what these guys have done at Indiana and will continue to be. So thank you.
There's a lot of young people in here, young everybody. There's a lot of young children in here. So the Bible, Coach Crean used to tell us, the Bible said, to whom much is given, much is required. So I feel like it's required for me to say this. I'm living proof that don't let anybody tell you can't do anything. Because if you have a little bit of faith and you have a little bit of core of people who believe in you, anything is possible. Coming out, I was not the greatest of player. I was not McDonald's All-American. I was not Jordan Brand. I only had one college offer coming out of high school, and it's because this man saw a little bit of something in me, and I'm living proof, man. Anything is possible, man. Really. And I come here. My first year here, I was not the greatest of players. I used to kick the ball all over the gym, but no one outworked me. I just wanted something, and I just kept pushing towards it. No one outworked me. I was always in the gym. Luckily, we got this big fella my sophomore year. We got just a little bit better. And then we just took off running. The summer of my sophomore year, I stayed in Indiana all summer. I didn't see my mother that summer. I stayed with Marnie. I worked on my degree. I stayed here. I worked out. That summer changed my life. I ended up being the #2 pick in the draft. I'm just here to tell you young people that, I'm talking about young people, I'm still young. I'm here to tell you guys that, because at a young age, I was thinking the same things I was thinking now. I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that. Is it possible for me to do that? At a young age, I didn't make teams. People didn't believe in me. At a young age, I was faced with adversity. So I'm here to tell y'all that anything is possible. All you gotta do is just believe in yourself and never let anybody outwork you. And that's all I have to say, man.
I also heard that a lot, John 12:48, too much is given, much is required. Coach Crean used to tell both Vic and I that a lot. The other thing is that iron sharpens iron, and I think Vic and I were good for each other this year, just because it's tough. Vic and I will both tell you that being a rookie, no matter if you're having success or not, it's a long season. But I think we were good for each other just because we kind of went through it together. When we were here, Vic and I, Jordy, Christian, Derek, all those guys, we'd be going at each other in practice, fist fights, everything else, and then afterwards we'd go get dinner. We were good, but on the court we knew that we had to make each other better. There was nothing we were just trying to make each other better. But it was the friendships that we'll have for the rest of our lives. Before we came here, Vic and I went to get fitted for our tuxes for Jordy's wedding next summer, and it's just cool because it seems like the whole basketball team is in his wedding, and that's how it is. It's in the NBA, it's kind of they almost say you're kind of co-workers. Like everyone kind of, you meet at the gym and everyone kind of goes and does their own thing. But for us, that was so weird for me because, there'd be 8 or 10 of us at dinner after practice every night. So the 2 years that I spent in Indiana, the relationships that I made, not only on the team, but the coaching staff, all the fans here, something that, I'll never trade for anything. And it's always good to be back and around Indiana fans, so I appreciate it.
It's a special place. It's a special night having everybody here get out to the football games, obviously starting next week. Soccer last night, I thought U2 was in town. There were so many people walking across to that exhibition game and see Amy's team. It's a great time at IU. Keep supporting them. Everybody is working as hard as they can. Go IU. Thank you.